time we go back to. I have not forgotten about it. Okay? So we will go back to that. But for the sake of time, we're going to go straight to activity, which is G's creations, the black world. All right. So together, you are going to see this on your technology. We have like 3 or 4 more of these throughout the course of the semester that you'll have. Okay? Now on your own time, you can go back and retake as well, because everything on here will be on your test. You also need to know for your natural, just natural knowledge. Okay? So this is G Creations, Chapter 1, The Black World. Start.
You will learn 3 concepts during this interactive activity. 1. The physical geography of Africa. 2. The cradle of civilization. 3. The Nile River.
All right, y'all ready to start the journey? No. All right. No, just watch. Just watch. There you go. Now y'all have to tell Mr. Bradford, y'all read the directions. Drag and drop. What are the surrounding bodies of water along the African continent? What are they? You got to drag and drop. Talk to them. Where did it go? Oh, you know what?
North, south, east, west.
You go to what? Just point to it so they can talk to you. So you can tell them.
Atlantic is on the west. There. Got it. Well, somebody else next one. The Pacific.
Which one? Y'all talk to them. Well, tell them.
Up here?
No, it's right here.
Pacific right here?
That's nice. Just drop it. It'll pick the right one if y'all got one of them right. What's next?
What's over here? What we got over here?
Oh, they got a Red Sea.
What, Red Sea? That's my favorite Ethiopian restaurant. What we got here? Indian?
Y'all show?
Hey,
Oh, y'all use y'all resources.
oh, yo, man, cheap.
Oh,
Nope.
all right, come on, try it again. Y'all got one of them wrong. You gotta get all right.
Which one? Atlantic, Red Sea, Indian.
All right. Good job. Take it, my brother. All right.
Alright, what we got?
Where are the 4 climate regions and vegetation regions?
We starting at the top, going down. Help me out. Up in this one. You look at the box 1. We can go in order. Box 1. What we got? Mediterranean. Okay. I'm just checking. I'm just following directions. You said desert?
Yeah. All right.
What we got? Grasslands?
The red don't work. I don't know why the red don't work. Show what, okay, what is that one?
Where does this go?
Bottom or top? Bottom, they say bottom.
Alright, what about right here? Grasslands?
So which one? Is there wet desert? Do we need to switch desert?
Which one?
Alright, that's correct. Good job.
Now, you will be learning about specific countries in Africa. Click the start button to continue.
Sudan.
Sudan, this is the country of Sudan. Where y'all think go? The outline.
South Africa. North Africa.
Wait. Oh, yeah, wait. Okay, it's right here.
Go ahead, where at?
Right there.
Somebody point to it. Somebody go point to it. That is submit, yeah.
Correct. This is the country of Sudan, also known as Nubia, and Kush.
Kush. Kush. Get your mind out the gutter. Kush.
Ethiopia.
Right there. No, go down. Right up, right there.
Correct. This is the country of Ethiopia, where the oldest human remains in history were found.
Oh, next.
Sorry, I'm trying to do too much.
You good?
I'm in a class.
All right. Where's Somalia at? Somalia.
Somalia.
People that y'all be seeing on there feed the children. Where are they at?
Right there.
Very
Also,
good.
the pirates.
Yes, they always
You
show
got
them.
it. This is the country of Somalia, rich in history and culture.
All right, good. Oh, yeah, close out.
Sudan, Ethiopia.
So how are the countries of Sudan, Ethiopia, Somalia connected?
Somebody help us out. How they connected?
How do y'all think they're connected? Why are they important? All right, let's see. Let's split to find out.
Welcome to the cradle of civilization. The East African regions of Nubia, Kush, which is present-day Sudan, Abyssinia, present-day Ethiopia, and Pwani, which is present-day Somalia, are referred to as the cradle of civilization. The world's first people were black and called this area home. These black people eventually formed the world's first civilization, birthplace of mankind, also known as the cradle of civilization.
All right, so let's drag. Where they go? Which one's Sudan? Now right there?
Yeah.
All right. Ethiopia.
Next to it.
Let's do it. And Somalia.
Next to it.
There you go. Let's see.
Correct.
Now good. All right. Now let's talk about the Nile River. All right. Mr. Brad, you want to read that?
The Nile River, called Happy, by early Africans, is formed from the White Nile River and the Blue Nile rivers in the city of Khartoum. The Nile River is the lifeline and superhighway of the cradle of civilization. Let's learn more about the Nile River.
Habi, or the Nile River, is made up of two very different but very important rivers, the White Nile and the Blue Nile. Click on the names of the White Nile and Blue Nile to learn more about them.
So we'll go White Nile first.
Beginning in the Rwenzori Mountains at Lake Victoria, the White Nile is the primary source of the Nile rivers, stretching approximately
Flip it again. It should come up. Okay. Now, stretching approximately 2,300 miles. Okay? Starts from Lake Victoria, which you'll see, all the way up. I don't know why we're doing that. Go ahead.
Though smaller than the size, the Blue Nile River carries valuable minerals, including silt that creates fertile land in the area. This allows human civilization to thrive along the Blue Nile until it arrives in the city of Qatar. When we talked about Sudan, we mentioned the city of Qatar. This city is where the Blue Nile and the White Nile meet to create the Great Nile River. The flow of migration.
Alright. The direction of the flow of the river and its nutrients carried and allowed for a great and gradual migration of the people from the cradle of civilization to Kemet or Egypt. Where did that man just moonwalk to? Egypt. He just moonwalked to Egypt. Where did he come from though? Sudan. What's the other country?
Ethiopia.
What's the other country? Somalia. What do they call together? You got it.
Okay, let's review.
Okay, somebody read number 1 for us.
Africa is a land surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean, Southern Ocean, and Red Sea. It's also filled with desert grasslands, tropical forests, and dry Mediterranean.
Very good. Wait for it. Number 2, somebody else. Somebody new.
The East African region.
Somebody new. Come on, somebody take it. Step up.
East African regions of
Nubia,
Nubia,
Kush.
Kush, Sudan, Abyssinia, Ethiopia, and what is that?
20.
What?
20.
Are referred to as cradle and civilization. The world's first.
People were black and called the area home.
Home. It's hard. These black people eventually formed the world's first.
Civilization.
Very good. Number 3, the Nile River, called Happy by early Africans, is formed by what 2 rivers?
White
Alright, in the city of Khartoum. Okay? And number 4, the White Nile River is the lifeline and what? Of the what? Very good.
Thank you for completing G's Creations interactive activity. You're finished. Now please sit quietly and wait for instruction. Oh yeah, and if you thought that was really interesting, you are more than welcome to do it again. Click at the bottom to repeat.
Alright, very good. Was that helpful? Okay, good. So what are the 3 things we learned about with that interactive activity? We learned 3 specific things. Yes?
Learn about the White River, Blue River.
Okay, White River, Blue River, that's correct. What is their actual name? The Nile, okay? Also called what?
Super highway. Nappy.
Super highway, but also called something else. Happy. Okay, happy. Okay, very good. That's one thing. What was the second thing we learned? Jalen. Where the cradle of civilization started. All right. What was one of the countries or areas where the cradle of civilization started? Ethiopia. That was the first one. Okay. Where's the second one? Haliandre? Somalia. Okay. People tell you all this stuff about Somalia like it's bad, but it's not. Okay. It's where some of the first people were born. And the third place. What's the third place? Sudan. Very good. And last but not least, what was the last thing that we talked about? That y'all were arguing about?
The location.
Very good. Geography. Okay. So what's 3 major oceans? Okay.
Check out.
Got it up. All right, Don. All right, Don. Go look at Schoology and look at the lecture. Okay, and finish all your homework. What's today? On Wednesday and Thursday. Okay. Oh yeah. And we were talking about geography. So what are the 3 bodies of water? Yes. What's up?
Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, and Atlantic Ocean. No, Red Sea, Indian Ocean, and Atlantic Ocean.
Atlantic Ocean. Very good. Atlantic, Indian, and what?
The Red Sea.
That's correct. All right, you guys got it. Give some round of applause. All right. At this time, we're going to go directly into our note taking for our lecture on today. Everybody will also receive, and you can keep this. You can actually keep this. This is yours. Even though it's a textbook, it's yours. corner. I want to see if I get you out of that corner. I don't want anybody in that corner. Do it fair, Tony. Move over here. From by the window. Yes, that's all right. The name of this particular lecture will be Introduction to African Civilizations. This is a book, a very profound book by the great Dr. John G. Jackson. He was one of the foremost authorities on the, I guess, the thought that Africa and Africans are not all bad. It's not all dark and blue. So he, with a number of other scientists, went to Africa and they began to study the actual evidence that would change the paradigm of our thoughts on African people and great early African civilizations. As you can see on the very front cover of the book, it's a world-renowned book. You can't beat it. Like, library, I tried like 6 months to get the book. They had like 10 copies. They were all checked out. As soon as one came back, the other one was gone. It's like one of those books you have to buy it, and when you buy it, it's like on a month back order. It's a very, 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 very profound book in the African studies community. Okay? What do you notice on the front page of the book? Zodiac signs, okay? Zodiac signs, believe it or not, is of African origin. It's of African origin. Africans were some of the first people, not some of the first people, they were the first people to actually chart the heavens. Now, on your homework, you may have saw where it had something about caves in France. They were the first ones to actually chart the heavens. Well, that's not necessarily correct. That's correct by the world standards, but it's not all the way correct. Yes? Huh? Did it with months? Well, that's how the zodiac works. Zodiac is actually a calendar. It's a form of a calendar that came up by early ancient Africans. All right? So we'll touch on that more in depth when we get to that in the lesson. All right, we'll do our first slide.
I'm a Gemini, Mr. Griffin.
You're a Gemini? Okay, Gemini. Already had to get a Cancer. See, that's why we click. What months? Now some of them are between months, okay? Some of them are between months, so it's not necessarily for the month, okay? Some of them are between months, mostly July. So they swap. Okay, so I'm gonna start right here. Everyone, please write down, label your notes too. Go back real quick, Mr. Make sure we're good. Label your notes for the day, start a new page, Introduction to African Civilization. Okay, next slide. Words of wisdom. This man right here, Dr. John Henry Clark.
Okay, teachers, at this time, please, any 10th grade student who is missing a part of their uniform, please come down to the first floor. There's any 10th grade student that's missing part of their uniform, please come down to the first floor. Thank you.
All right. Dr. John Henry Clark, you'll actually see him. He is right here as well. He is one of the greatest, in my opinion, one of the greatest teachers of all time. He was a historian. He was a teacher. He was Malcolm X's teacher. He taught Malcolm X. Malcolm X actually talked about him and said that, you know, he was a very profound influence in his life. Okay, so write down for your notes, Dr. John Henry Clark. So write down Dr. John Henry Clark. Now write it down because it's kind of, maybe you can't see it up here, it's kind of small. And I want you to put historian. John Henry Clark. Now, what we're getting ready to read is the words of Dr. John Henry Clark, because he actually did the introduction to this book. Okay? So we're going to read the words from Dr. John Henry Clark that coincide with this presentation.
Dr. John Henry Clark did what?
He was a historian.
Right there.
He was a historian and teacher. Okay. At this time, let me get someone who would like to read. We're going to turn to the first page. Front and back, so we're going to talk to the very back of the first page. It should be introduction, page 3. Let me get someone who would like to read the first highlighted portion for us. Go ahead. You get next. Come back. Go ahead.
Mr. Jackson has not written this volume on African history to tell benevolent stories about so-called savages and how the Europeans came to civilize them. Quite the contrary, in many ways he has reversed the picture and proved his point. Civilization did not start in European countries, and the rest of the world did not wait in darkness for the Europeans to bring the light.
Very, very good. Okay. Let's go to our next slide. All right. These are the points. He's talking about what, Jalen? What is he talking about? What is he saying in that particular one? Anyone else as well? What is he saying in that first particular passage?
How civilization started.
How civilization started.
In Africa?
It started. Did it start in Europe?
No.
Did it start in Asia? No, it didn't. And he has evidence to back this up. All right. Let's take our next one, Canaan.
The history of Asia has been shamefully distorted as the history of Africa.
Very, very good, okay? So these two continents' history has been distorted, okay? We have been, African people and the African continent has been totally just ramaged through by people trying to get goods and people trying to get the natural resources of the land, as well as Asia. The Asian people, Asian brothers and sisters have gone through much struggle and strife as well, okay? From the same group of people, okay? We'll talk about that in more detail as well. Let's go to page number 4.
If you want to.
All right. Let's go to our next slide. Okay, point 2. Point number 2. Read our next highlighted portion for us. Go ahead, my trouble.
What is Africa to Africans and what is Africa to the world? Asking these questions emphasize the need for the total re-examination of African history. A new approach to African history must begin with a new frame of reference. We will have to discard a number of words that have been imposed on African history. There is a need to reject the term Black Africa because it presupposes that there is a white Africa. There is an urgent need to discard the term Negro Africa and the word Negro and all that it implies. This word grew out the European slavery and colony systems, and it fails to relate the people of African descent to land, history, and culture. There is no Negro land. When one hears the word France or French, it is easy to visualize the land, history, and culture of a people. The same thing is true of the words English or Englishmen. When one hears or reads the word Negro, the only vision that comes to mind relates to a position.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Montrell. So as you just heard, Dr. John Henry Clark is saying that in certain words that we need to what?
Stop saying.
Stop saying. Certain words we have to stop saying, okay? First, what is the first one?
Black Africa.
Black Africa. Because this implies that it must be a what? Okay? We are all, how many races of people is it? One race, so it can't be black or white. Okay? So we need to stop saying that. Yes?
My grandmother, she get mad at my grandpa every time he say color folk.
Yeah, that's a whole nother deal, because we're all what? We're all colored. You know, we're all colored. So it's these type of things, Canaan, that we talk about that our minds, you know, that we've kind of been conditioned to think about. Also, Negro, because it grew out of European what?
Slavery.
Okay, very good. And it fails to relate the people of African descent to land, history, and culture. He talks about it in that particular reference. He says, oh, when people are from France, when one hears the word France or French, it is easy to visualize the land, history, and culture of the people. Same thing when someone says Englishman or English. Okay, those people have lands that are tied to their name. Negro, is there a land that's called Negroria? Negroria. No, it's not a land. We have Africa. Okay, so we should just be called Africans. Okay, so these two words we need to get rid of, but we need to add this word to our living vocabulary, African. Look, I know we talk about African American. Yes, I am African American, but guess what? I'm African first. All right, it's to the point I'm about to start like just Xing through the African American on the census, on all the point. African American, just X through the American, just say African and put a thumbs up. That's African. All right, because I am African first. God may be African first. Okay, that's important to realize. Please, at this time, get these down. I want you to put this still on number 1. So get these down. About another 60 seconds. Yeah, get that last one too, Jeremiah. Okay. Very quick, go back one more. Very quickly, while we're writing, go ahead and get that point 1. Okay? Just put point number 1, paraphrase. Okay, point number 1. All right, you put history books got these two civilizations mixed up. Or Africa and Asia civilizations have been mixed up through the course of history. That's point number 1 that Dr. Jackson makes. So you need to put that point 1. Point number 1, Asia and Africa's histories have been mixed up purposely. All right, point 2. Dr. Jackson reverses the theory of Africans being savages and having to be saved by the white man. Now, I don't want you to feel bad about this. I don't know if I ever told y'all, but my grandmother, my great-great-grandmother is white. She was white. Her name was Elizabeth Eames. Okay, she's from Mobile, Alabama. She was white. Okay, I told you, of course I told you, I think I told y'all about my brother's situation. So, when I say this, or when you hear me or Mr. Bradford, when you hear us say white society or white people, we're not talking about all white people. Okay? A lot of great white people, right next door to one. Great white people. But we're talking about the structure and the society and the institution that has been set up, okay, that gives one group of people privilege over another group of people. Okay? So that's what we're talking about when we say this. I just want to get that out there. Now, this is a picture of a what? What is happening right here? Stuff, huh? Why so small? Looks like a tribe, right? An African tribe. Okay? So, why do you think that they're taking a picture right in the middle?
Because they think they're the boss.
Maybe, but what is happening? I mean, we can't tell. We can't go into their head and prove that. You got to give some evidence. What is happening? Yes. Okay. I'm right here next.
You can look at us in the background and look at them, and you see that us, we're not happy, we're not cheerful, anything like that.
Why?
And they all smiling. They got you.
Okay, so you noticing they're smiling.
Yeah.
And most of them, they look very stoic, very, it's like, wow, we're here, okay? This is a missionary. Raise your hand if you ever heard of a missionary. What were you about to say? Why they have what? Right. Tribal traditions. Tribal traditions, that's a part of their culture. And you'll notice too, when we start talking about some of the people like the Dogon, some of the people like the Yoruba, okay? Those people, tattoos, you know how Wayne got his tattoos all over? So these cultures, not just here in Africa, in Asia and other parts of the world as well, that's a like natural ritual. They're tattooed up. All right? They have markings, they have brandings, they have paintings like what you see. That's just a part of their normal culture. So what we may call obscure, okay, or not the norm, abnormal, some people call what? Normal. Okay? So that's why. That's part of their culture. I'm coming here, then I'm coming here. Yes, Ms. Jacobs.
I was gonna say that it looks like they're like trying to force them to take a picture with them to show that they.
What makes you say that, Maya?
I don't know, because like, why would they be there taking a picture? Like it seems like they was putting it up, like they set that together just to be like, oh look what we doing, look what we doing, and stuff like that.
Okay? Very good. You're on to something. You're definitely on to something. Let's hold that thought. Let's build upon it. What you got, Tori?
I actually had something to say when she said why they faces painted and stuff.
Go ahead.
Well, I forgot the tribe name, but they do it as beauty marks. They put patterns on their faces, like they'll take a needle or some kind of sharp tool and like really scratch their face to have patterns. And they use it, as a beauty trait. Like that's how women not get sold but get married off to them. And they do the whole lip plate things where you see the ladies with the hanging lips and stuff like that. The ears, they do all kinds of stuff. That's just beautiful.
It's called scar.
Wait, hold on, wait. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Say what? It is. It's very beautiful.
That's attractive.
To who? It's not attractive to who? To you. From your per what? From your perspective. But to other cultures' perspective, is it beautiful?
It's beautiful.
So,
Very attractive.
so, will you see that on American television? Will you see like somebody walking down the runway with the ears, with the things that make their ears long? Or with their lips, they have a lip plate that makes their lips, yes. Would that be, would you see that on TV? No, you wouldn't see it here because from my perspective it's not. Alright? But from their perspective, it is. Yes, Kane.
Why do they have all these cultures and stuff? Like, why can't we all just have one culture and just live? Just live all in one culture. Why we have to have separate cultures? That's how people like really be judging people and stuff.
I don't want to answer that just yet. You'll answer that at the end of the course. Once you take in all the information, you'll be able to give a better assessment right now. Because I want you to come to that conclusion. I want you to come to that conclusion, okay? I don't want to just tell it to you, okay? Keep going. Alright? Ignorance is a driver. So ignorance is good. If everybody tell you, when somebody say, you ignorant as a, you say, thank you. Because you need ignorance. If you don't have ignorance, that means you have nothing else to live for. You're perfect. Being perfect is very boring. Okay? Alright, very good. Next slide. But rather, Africa had great kingdoms of wealth for at least how many years? 4,000 years before any other race. So put on the back of it. Please get that down. While y'all writing, what do you notice about the Sphinx in this particular rendition of the picture?
The what?
The Sphinx.
They glorify it.
Okay. Which one is the Sphinx? Oh, I heard somebody. Where's the Sphinx? Which one? Right here. He's the Sphinx. He has another name too. We don't talk about. I don't want to let the cat out there. He has the name that the Kemites actually gave him. But the Sphinx is the more common name. Okay. So, is Egypt in a desert right now, or a rainforest? Rainforest. Oh, what? It's a rainforest right now? Y'all got me saying wrong. Is it a rainforest right now or a desert?
Oh,
Right. Okay. Everybody, look up here. Get this light. Look up here. All right. I'm sorry. Look up here. Y'all see right here? Back class. This is in Egypt, right outside of Cairo. These are the pyramids of Giza. All right, the pyramid of Khufu. All right, from the 4th dynasty. You see the Sphinx. Okay. Is that a desert or a rainforest?
It's a desert.
It's a desert, right? Africa has 4 distinct climate and vegetation zones. One of them is a what? It's a desert. What is right beneath the desert? The rainforest, right? So, right up in here is where the rainforest is. All right? About 4,000 to 10,000 years ago, it was not a desert. Africa had no desert. Africa was rainforest. Okay? Africa was rainforest. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of the term desertification. Okay? Very good. Tyron, what is desertification?
It's when the desert start expanding, trees start dying, it's like
Very good. That's absolutely correct. Trees start dying. All right? Rainforests start dying. And eventually the whole land becomes a what? Desert. It is happening now, and I want you to connect the dots. What is going on right now with our climate?
The polar bears have nowhere to go.
Polar bears have nowhere to go. It's getting what? Getting hot. Global what? Warming. Oh my goodness. Places are turning into deserts. Okay? Over the course of time, and there's really nothing we can do about this, over the course of time, all of Africa, there's really nothing we can do. All of Africa will become mostly a desert. Now we may be able to do something to stop it, to slow it down, but just realize that all of this, the Sahara wasn't the Sahara 5,000, 4,000 to 10,000 years ago. Which meant, when the Egyptians or the Kemites were living, were they living in a desert? Y'all, you have to realize, the Egyptians, the Cushites, all the people from the cradle civilization, all that was not desert. That was lush grasslands and forests.
On TV it's a desert.
On TV it's a desert.
Yeah, like on the shows, kids shows, they show it as a desert.
Can't believe everything that you said.
You also got,
Go ahead, Ms. Brown.
I was gonna say, you also gotta think for yourselves. How many people move to the middle of a desert to build a city? How many cities do we have in America in the middle of a desert? And I'm talking about current time. None. Where do people move, right? They move where there's food, where there are resources, where there are places. So it makes sense that if you think about it, they would not have built that civilization there. The cradle of civilization would not have started out.
Any 11th grade student who did not receive their uniform, please send them to the first floor at this time. That's any 11th grade student who did not receive their uniform, please send them to the first floor at this time. Thank you.
They would not have founded or started, or I guess it would not have been developed in a desert. So when you think about things, and that's kind of what I am interested in driving in this class, is getting you to critically think for yourself, not just what you see on television, but think about it and relate it to things. They would not have built the pyramids, or they would not have built their civilization in the desert because there wouldn't have been any resources, right? No lumber to build, no water to drink, no vegetation to eat. So you got to think about those things in context also in terms of what you see in the media and what it portrays about Africa and other ancient civilizations. We ready to roll?
All right, and point 3. Civilization did not start in European countries, and the rest of the world did not wait in darkness for the Europeans to bring the light. Let's get that down. What word do you notice up here that we've been saying to one another? Very good. Hotel. Okay. Imhotep. Okay. This means I am the one that comes in what?
Peace.
Comes in peace. Okay. And he is the first in recorded history that we know about, the first multi-genius. They've actually had to go back and begin to rewrite the history books because, and me and Mr. Bradford know, and people who are older know, raise your hand. You guys may know as well. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of the Hippocratic Oath. Okay, very good. The Hippocratic Oath is an oath that's taken by all doctors. It was made by the quote-unquote great Hippocrates from Greece. Now, Hippocrates is quote-unquote the father of medicine. He's the father of doctors. He basically came up with the systematic review of how to diagnose someone, okay? How to come up with a plan to help cure this particular person of whatever ailment that they may have. He was Greek, not African, he was Greek. And it stood for thousands of years until they began to do research. And this is coming from Dr. Jackie Campbell. He's an Egyptologist, okay? And this is what he's saying. He's saying that we're going to have to go back and rewrite the history books because Imhotep, we found papyri, in particular the name of it is the Edwin Smith papyri that they were found. It was written in 2500 BC. Hippocrates didn't live until well into the 1000 BC. So 1000 years before Hippocrates even existed, this man had diagnoses. He had 46 cases on record where he looked at a patient, diagnosed the patient, and in 30 of them, he cured the patient. Came up with particular medicines, particular things that he would do, and he wrote everything down, and it was formulated and kept and preserved on the Edwin Smith papyrus. This is history that we're going to have to go back and rewrite, that we're afraid to put in your textbooks, that someone black actually started medicine. And Hippocrates actually went back, and now they're finding evidence in his writings that he got everything from guess who? Imhotep. Okay? He is also the father of pyramid building. He built the first ever pyramid in the first dynasty. Alright? So he is a very profound person, and he is, by record, the world's first multi-genius. I'm not saying that it wasn't others before him. I'm saying by record, he's the one that we can first identify with that did multiple things. He was also worshipped in Egypt for over 2,000 years as a god. After he died, he really lived. Alright? And after he died, he was worshipped as a god, the god of medicine, for over 1,000 years. So a very profound man. So when we say Hotep, we're not saying anything derogative for it. We're saying, I come in peace. His name is Imhotep. I am coming in what? Peace. Alright, that's him.
Right.
Next slide. Keep going. You did that already. Okay, keep going. Okay, very important. Before you write anything, let me get right here, Charles. Go ahead and read for us step 1, the cradle of civilization. Take that first bullet.
The birthplace of humanity, born of Africa.
Very good. Take the next one right here.
African people never fully realized their greatness in history until the land of
Nubia, and that word is Sudan. You can't see it? Sudan. Abyssinia.
Ethiopia.
Everybody repeat after me. Say Sudan.
Sudan.
Kush, Nubia.
Kush, Nubia.
Okay, Abyssinia.
Abyssinia.
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia.
And Puan,
Puan,
which is the country of what? Very good. All of these are the present day countries, okay? Nubia and Kush, those are the ancient names for the countries. Abyssinia is ancient for what?
Ethiopia.
Puan is ancient for what? This is the big one you need to realize. Kush and Nubia is ancient for what? Sudan. Okay? Until they are geographically and culturally re-enjoined to the land of Kemet, which is ancient what? Egypt. Until they are re-enjoined and we realize that they all have a connection, this process of separation is called the what? Beheading of Africa. And that is why on all of the movies that you see, you'll never see a black Egyptian. You will never see a black Egyptian. Because Egypt is, by my estimation and by many's, the greatest civilization of all time. It lasted for 4,000 years. America has only been around for 200 and some change. This civilization lasted for 4,000 years, and they kept records throughout all of it. Okay? So, if you can separate Egypt away from Africa, okay, you've just taken away the greatest civilization of all time from a particular people that, one, don't know their history because they were taken away from their history, and now they really don't believe that these people are your descendants. So you don't really know how great you are. You're thinking that someone else built the pyramids when actually it was you. Okay, very important to realize. These are the countries right here, and this is the beginning of Africa. Raise your hand if you heard of people say sub-Saharan Africa. The term, raise your hand high if you heard it. What do you think, what does sub-Saharan Africa mean?
I think it means like the top part, like a part of it, a part of Africa. Like
Okay.
the desert part, because Sahara is the desert.
Say it again.
Like it's the desert part, the top part, because Sahara is the desert.
So where's the Sahara Desert?
At the top.
Right here, okay? Where's sub-Saharan Africa? Underneath what?
The desert.
The Sahara Desert. So they always say sub-Saharan Africa. They associate this with blacks. You don't associate this with blacks. Okay? And we need to be able to re-enjoin all this area because the Kushites and Egyptians were the same people. They're descendants from the same people. Okay? Let's go back up, Mr. Byron, real quick. Okay. You need to get this one down, this first one. And you need to get this second one. This third one I mean. Get the first one and the third one. For the second one, that paraphrases it for you. Please get this down so you don't have to write all of that. Okay? The cradle of civilization should be rejoined to where? Kemet. What's another word for Kemet? What is it? Egypt. You got it.
Ready to move?
Get about 31 seconds. All right, there are other steps that you will need to get on your own, okay? For your homework tonight, okay, because we're getting a lot in a short period of time, all right? What you will have to do is, you need to go look at this video. This is a video. Go to Schoology. Watch the video. Watch this video. The video is on the PowerPoint already, so all you have to do is just go look at the PowerPoint. The video is already embedded. Just click on the video, watch it. You need to find out step 2, which is going in depth on the Nile Valley.
Right now.
Not yet. Not yet. You gotta go over and do this on your own. Step 3, you can find out about the land of Cush. And step 4, find out about ancient Kemet or Egypt. And just review the rest of the PowerPoint. All right? Any questions on what you need to do tonight with your studies? Name of the PowerPoint should be Introduction to African Civilizations, and you'll see it underneath week 2. Okay? You did a real good job today, guys. Very proud of you. You learned a lot. You learned a lot. At this time, go ahead and pack up. Get one sheet of paper ready for your entry ticket. You have about a minute break. You know what? Thank you. I have 18 of them. Y'all, at this time too, while we're waiting to pack your stuff up, all you need is one sheet of paper. Go put all of your headphones, if you got them, put them back. Keep it, it's yours. Guys, good question too. Keep your photographer's homework. We had to skip it. Keep that, and we'll go over that next homework. It's all in school.
So, Mr. Griffin, our homework was on Schoology. I can just look it up on there.
I'm about to show you that. All right, everybody, face the screen real quick. Let me show you. All of your homework, everything that we have, has been put on Schoology. What week we on? 2. All right, 1 week behind. Notice, this is what we did today. All of the stuff is in chronological order. Hit the lights for me real quick. Tyra. if you'll see. All right here, this was the exit ticket we had Monday and Tuesday. After that, this is the link we did today with the interactive activity. This is the lecture. This was an extra worksheet we had if we got time. This is your homework tonight. This is your what? Everything. So every day until the end of the semester is done. It's on here. All you gotta do is click on it. Go to it. It pulls it up.
You want us to print it out?
Yeah, if you missed it, that's on you. You have to go print it out. Check it out. Look. Here's the PowerPoint. The whole PowerPoint. And all you gotta do is download it and then to your computer and then you can go through the whole PowerPoint again. Okay? Any questions? Okay. If you need help with school G, stay afterwards, okay? I'm gonna make sure that that's your lifeline to get an A or a B in the course. Okay. Exit ticket? Oh, it's real. It's real. It's real. It's a quiz. I'm gonna give you. Do not write the questions. All right, we're gonna only do these today because this is as far as we got. Okay, go ahead and get started. Now remember, exit tickets, don't use your notes for this. When I say regions, I want both present day, and if you can, give me ancient as well.